I'm David Shirley. I'm a creative here at FCB and the copywriter behind Storm Reaper.
I'm Melina Fiolitakis. I'm a creative at FCB and I'm the art director behind the Swim Reaper campaign.
Water Safety New Zealand came to us. They specifically had an issue with men aged 15 to 34 in New Zealand. They were making up a third of drownings, and the insight, which we had some fun with, was that these guys just do dumb stuff. They take stupid risks, they jump off things, they try to impress their mates, and it was leading to way too many fatalities. So how do we broach that with these guys?
Yeah, and we needed a pretty unconventional way to reach them because they don't respond well to traditional safety messaging. So we had to think of something pretty out of the box.
We started from this point of going, like, these guys are they don't like being told what to do. They hate taking advice. So we sort of ended up with this idea that we'd go the other way. That we'd find a character who had a vested interest in young guys killing themselves, and that he would become this influence who would point out their stupidity by reflecting it back at them, by going, this is great stuff, you should go out there, drink lots, swim in rips, do whatever it takes to help me out. And the original incarnation of this guy was actually an undertaker who was just trying to do good business. He was hanging out on the beach with his hearse and handing out business cards, trying to coax people outside the flags. So yeah, you can kind of see where it came from, was this person who had a self-interest in young guys doing dumb stuff and drowning.
And then he just kind of spiraled from there. So we thought about making this Instagram profile where he's kind of taking the piss out of Instagram cliches, like the summer cliches, riding the pink flamingo and the hot girl summer and all that. So we ran with that, and then it just grew and grew from there. I think straight away people would have seen it on Instagram, and the imagery was quite impactful because it's a reaper in this beautiful New Zealand scenery having so much fun. And then I think with the tone of voice that we developed for him and his whole personality that came to life, people really fell in love with that and wanted to see what he would do next. So yeah, I think they got it, and they became very strong fans.
His tone's actually it's evolved over the years. We're in year 6 now. When he started out, he was actually, as we sort of said, he was in this culture. He just spoke like the people in this group do. But he was taking the piss a little bit of the sausages or legs things, or whatever the thing was we were playing on within Instagram. He evolved because we wanted to get greater cut through, and we wanted to press harder. So he became really dark. And part of this too is actually us challenging ourselves that to run this for so long, we have to keep evolving and keep maturing. So he became darker and darker and kind of kept lifting the bar each year. And we also, the whole hard to reach group thing, like, we needed to be super dark, super funny. So it wasn't a persona that existed out there already. I think it's one we invented, or potentially it's a side of ourselves that we just haven't come to terms with yet, and we're just pushing it out on the world. Yeah, it's just a little bit us.
Yeah.
His popularity kind of took us all by surprise. The first summer he had 18,000 followers, which we were blown away by. I mean, this is 18,000 people signing up to get safety messages on a regular basis, so we thought that was incredible. By the second summer, it was up over 100,000. It's now 400 and something thousand followers. This he's got his own meme. Like, people tattoo him. Like, it's insane. The popularity in that sense, the success in that sense has been insane. I particularly loved George Takei shared him, which is pretty funny. Like, yeah. Mr. Sulu from the original Star Trek.
But highlight for you,
it was really, yeah, Mr. Sulu likes our work. Humor is such an important code for New Zealanders that we don't like the serious chats. In fact, we will often diffuse those situations with humour. So when we are trying to create a cultural shift, as you mentioned, that is a way in for us. So it's become an important part of a lot of the work we've done in terms of mitigating drinking or drowning or whatever it might be.
Over a long period of time, like in this case 5 years, it allowed us to keep innovating and finding new ways of doing things, and it made us go to some really creative places with it. You know, we couldn't just keep doing the same thing year on year, so, you know, we created some merch one year, we created a range of products that he was peddling to try and help you drown one year, and then we pulled in the data as well, and it's just kept it fresh all the time. And then even with the social posts, you know, we started with all those Instagram cliches, but then once we'd kind of worked through all of those, we had to think of new and crazier things for him to be doing. So it's just kept it getting better and better.
When you can't do the same thing year in and year out, it gets super boring for the audience and they tune out.
And I would add to that to your credit, like, the copy was so engaging, and, you know, people often say, like, you know, don't use too many words on social media because people won't read it, but they do, and some of the captions are really long, but people love them and will comment because there's so much in there that they want to read it. You know, we obviously set out to stop people dying with this campaign, and that takes a long time to do. That's like a cultural shift and a big behavior change play. So in the first instance, we wanted to start conversations about swimming more safely among this audience that doesn't want to, and get into their culture and their world, and we definitely did that.
But I mean, in the way that really matters, drownings of this group declined year on year every year that we've run this campaign, to the point where last summer there were 0 drownings in the target market that we were after. So that's amazing for us that that's the result.